Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so hi, I'm Sunny, and this is the Celeste map Cannibal for the music translation for the third music translation contest. And I have the mapper here with me. Her name is Evie. Hi, Evie.
Hi. Yeah, the contest was basically just around the concept of taking a song and turning it into a map and seeing how you could express what that map conjured in you and express it in the form of a Celeste map. So super cool concept and a ton of awesome submissions, and this one's mine.
Yeah, there were a lot of submissions. This one is for the Tally House song Cannibal, and it's actually on hard list. It's a 1-star hard list map, and you'll see the music is now playing.
Yeah, this map uses quite a few modded custom mechanics. The most prominent one that's featured here is these kind of cassette blocks, almost like from the vanilla game, where they're toggled by the battle line chaser following you, entering and exiting the small fields marked with a square, or marked with a skull.
Yeah,
every time that battle line enters it, it'll toggle on, and vice versa when she leaves.
These fields are the ones she's talking about. These ones with like a skull on it. Room 1 is like kind of easy. I beat it pretty quickly, but the difficulty scales up. There is 8 rooms overall and 3 berries, along with those 8 rooms. So 11 rooms in total.
The blocks with the arrows on them function similar to the traffic blocks that you see in the first chapter of Celeste, except they're activated when you dash into them, and they stop at certain nodes along their path.
Yeah, they start moving if you dash into them. This map is like very complex with routing, kind of, because there's like a lot of things going on at once in the background, with like battling and everything. Okay, first of all, berry. Okay, wow, I got the entrance first try. That doesn't happen often. Okay, this is the first berry. It's kind of unique in terms of like gameplay. It just touches with maze. And I'm dead. Oh yeah, I should probably read this. This room contains no tech higher in difficulty than intermediate. No need to GM brain or consume woman mode. Consume woman is another map similar to this room, I guess.
Yeah. It's a buffed version of the map Eat Girl from the Strawberry Jam collab.
Yeah.
But yeah, this room is just kind of walk around and figure out how to go through the maze without actually having to go fast or do any intricate tech.
There's a lot of like places where I stop just to like time it better. For example, I stand here to get a better timing on this. Otherwise, it'd be like very quick. Routing this was kind of hard. It's a nuanced room.
And there's many different ways to be able to do it as well.
Yeah. Basically, everyone does it a different way.
Yeah, it's super cool. Everybody gets to have their own like little piece of individuality in the map through this room.
Yeah. Okay, here you can just go left, wait here until battle line comes, and we are at the berry. Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, so there's actually a golden strat here. You can go back by just doing a left jump here, full jump. There is a bubble, so you don't die. Because obviously, if there was no bubble, it'd make full clear golden impossible. Since you couldn't return from the berry.
A lot of the early rooms of the map focus on kind of teaching you to route around the certain timings of battle line entering each of the fields. So it's not going to be just as obvious as you need. You might have to delay some of your inputs in order to get a better positioning, or get a better timing on things.
There's a lot of stuff that you don't really see at first glance. And also it's kind of hard to see because there's like visual obfuscation.
Yeah, that also is something that increases throughout the map. It starts out very minimal, but as the map goes on, the blood stains get worse and worse.
Anyway, I don't think you can really hear the song over our talking, but it's like about an abusive relationship. It's a metaphor.
Yeah, I think I did a pretty decent job of kind of translating that into the map form, where you have this kind of other half of you chasing you and trying to hunt you down. And of course, the bloodstains and cartoonish gore.
Yeah. And this room should not be this difficult.
You got this.
There we go. Nice.
Awesome.
Okay. Room 4. This is a golden setup where you can just set up this. This is where you normally respawn, so you don't have to like precisely position yourself on that pixel.
And that is important because all of those buffers at the beginning are very, very dependent on your starting position.
That was good.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Room 5. This was halfway, not counting berries. There's 2 more berries. The rooms get way harder way later on, though.
They do. I think the previous room is probably the first room that you could call Grandmaster difficulty. It started out around Advanced and crept up through Expert, and now we're safely in Grandmaster difficulty range. This room and the last room showcase a lot more of the kind of buffer timings, which is used to describe a input that is pressed before the actual input needs to happen, and the game kind of gives you some leniency around that and allows you to still perform that input as soon as possible. So it allows you to input something on the first possible frame instead of just having to hit a frame perfect.
Yeah, a lot of these dashes will be frame perfect were not for the leniency that Celeste offers. Huh? The middle part of this room is like the hardest. Because it has like a very long buffer chain. It's like, what, 5 dashes buffered in a row. After that it's just like a reverse super ultra, like that. Too difficult. No clue feeling the super.
Another thing that can be noted here is the usage of the kind of wooden planks that you'll see. Those are called jump throughs. And
nice.
Of course, the game kind of...
The ones I'm feeling or...
they can be used to make inputs more lenient because you'll get snapped into them. Like this,
like
or
this.
snapped to the top of them if you're inside of them.
I'm dashing below them, but They like put you on top of them. Okay, this berry. This room contains the usage of cassette boosts. While a cassette block, or in this case a battle and chaser block, switches from inactive to active, you'll be pushed upward out of its hitbox. This push will result in a single frame of lift boost. To capitalize upon this, you must jump on the frame that this lift boost is applied. Which does mean that this room contains multiple frame perfect inputs. The first cassette super is bufferable from the right dash starting at the X position of the spawn point. Good luck. As you heard, this room has multiple frame perfects. By multiple, they mean 2.
Yeah, only 2. I could have been more evil with it and mapped more, but 2 is fine enough. Just to showcase some of the silly tech that can be done with these entities.
Anyway, yeah.
I do regret mapping this room, though.
Yeah, it's not very consistent, but it's full usage of the tech. The upwards boost I sometimes get from like this bunny hop is the cassette boost, and I need to do that at the end with the Ultra too.
So yeah, the lift boost mechanic is, if you're familiar with Celeste's first chapter, the blocks that move give you momentum when you jump off of them. And that's exactly what this is. So because you're getting pushed upward out of the block, the game applies that same momentum to you, which gives you that upward boost.
Yeah.
Making your jump larger than it would normally be.
The first frame perfect is pretty consistent because it's at the start of the room and you like kind of just get muscle memory for it. But the second one is literally at the end of the room, so it's a bit more like variable. But yeah, this room is kind of just gambling. Sometimes it takes like 3 deaths for me, and sometimes like several minutes.
It is possible to actually do these cassette boosts with only 1 cassette block. However, it's much more lenient, or not much more lenient, it's a lot easier to set up if there is a second block below it, which I think gives you an extra pixel of leniency, but it usually is just a single frame, so it makes it less dependent on Madeline's subpixels.
This cassette block I'm standing on, there's like 2 of them. Like they don't disappear ever.
Yeah.
They just switch between one state and another. No. This berry is taking a while. But yeah, that ultra at the end is just like play. You can do spring cancel at like the last spring to make the timing a bit easier. You'll learn what spring cancels are in the third berry. Because that is the berry that talks about them. That is literally the main mechanic of the berry.
I mean, spring cancels generally refer to just canceling the momentum that a spring would give you with a dash. And that happens quite a bit in the map with just instant buffers off of springs.
Yeah. In this case, it's dashing into the spring again to delay a bit. Oh. You also have to delay the downright after the wave dash at the end, because otherwise you go into the spikes. So yeah, this room is very nuanced. Aw. Felt like it could have been it.
I am definitely proud of the atmosphere that this map has. The deco and foreground just gives like, I don't know, like it gives the eerie forest vibe that I was going for.
Yeah.
I think it was executed pretty well.
I do think this song gives kind of an eerie forest vibe, so I like the atmosphere in the map.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this berry might get a bit boring because it is just raining, but I'm hoping
At least
I get
it's
lucky.
short. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was longer, it could be so much worse. It is only 2 frame perfect. And I'm struggling to hit a single one. Why is this happening? Let's hope. The up dash after the first frame perfect from the bunny hop is kind of tight too, but you need to react. Because if you don't up dash in time, you just die to the spinner there.
The mechanism internally for Celeste with decorations is something called decals, and they're just kind of PNGs that use Celeste's resolution that go in the foreground or the background. And the bloodstains are actually not decals because they are of a high resolution, and there's not really a way to do that in the base game. So they're actually a modded entity placed on top of the foreground tiles to get that high-res look.
Yeah, normally you can't get high-res decals in Celeste, but there's a few ways to go around that.
I honestly don't see it used enough. There's a lot of like really big potential for that, and people just kind of don't use it. There's so much that can be done. I would love to see.
Yeah, HD decals are awesome. Oh, they have an issue of like moving with your camera a bit.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if that can be controlled, but I do kind of like the parallax effect that they have.
I haven't been using watchtowers, but like if you go into a watchtower, they kind of move around, like not with the terrain. They move around a bit. You can notice it on the bottom one here. It scrolls like not connected to the terrain.
There we go. Oh my god.
No clue. My PC is kind of laggy, so like there's frame drops, and I got one there. I did not want to die to the right spinners, so I didn't hold right, and instead I died to the left ones.
I think the stream exploded.
How did it?
Yeah, the stream is just black. Oh, it's back.
Oh, awesome. Surely this time. I won't take too long on this, and then just like skip it if it takes too long.
Yeah.
Because I need to show like the rest of the map too. normally I'm like way better, but it's a bit hard to adjust like the frame drops.
I mean, it is like definitely a very difficult thing to execute. Frame perfects are always going to be much harder than anything else in pretty much any game. At least with Celeste, it is a bit more lenient because the game is locked to 60 FPS.
Yeah,
it is only
execute a frame perfect in like a 240 FPS game. A frame perfect in Celeste is like 16 milliseconds.
It's definitely fast, but it could be a lot worse.
Huh?
We should skip to the next room.
I'll give the last Ultra one chance then, sure. I showed off what the room looks like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not to mention this very took 2 hours to the judges of the contest that this map was submitted to.
Yeah.
It is definitely a difficult one.
It very much feels like gambling, which is the main reason that I'm unhappy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get very consistent, like no matter how much you play it.
Some frame perfects can be, but
you get unlucky.
Because it's so variable. Yeah.
Especially the last one, because it's like after 5 seconds of gameplay. Okay, this is around 7. Or 6? I forgot. Actually, I think it's 6. This is a consistent one. Aw.
The map can kind of switch between states of input dense tech spam and more nuanced, kind of almost precision gameplay.
Yeah, there's parts with like precision. I should stop buffering that input.
Yeah, that's just another like piece of the nuance of that this map can hold. Some of the springs might be buffers, some aren't, and you kind of have to figure it out based on the context of the gameplay around it.
No. Anyway, yeah, this map would be very difficult to golden. I do want to go for it one day though.
I mean, you have a 60 death, right?
Yeah, my record for like lowest deaths is like 60. Half of which is to the berry that I was stuck on for like 10 minutes. Aw, so close. That's like the ending.
I definitely got addicted to the dashing back and forth between two horizontally placed springs. There's a lot of that in this map. It's fun though.
No clue how they did in Super. Anyway, yeah, the start is like a bit difficult, then the room is just pretty consistent. That specific part with like the spring. Okay, there we go. Aw.
The beginning of this room looks kind of like a spiral. It's fascinating to look at. I like it a lot.
Okay, nice.
There we go. Awesome. GG.
It's time for berry 3. Setup is this, and it is just spring cancels. This is probably not as hard as a berry 2.
You should read the description.
Sure. I got the berry.
Yeah, super consistent room.
This
Basically
room
every
contains usage
input
of
is a buffer.
double springing, respringing. Dashing back into a spring you have activated will result in a slightly different trajectory. This is usually done to gain more height, but can also be used to stall into place momentarily, as well as a couple other uses. In order to execute this optimally, buffer a dash in the direction of the spring after hitting it the first time. P.S. Not every spring in this room needs to be hit twice. Yeah, that's also what I was trying to do in the second berry, the stall. Anyway, room 7. 2 more rooms to go.
So that first down right in this room is, or I guess second down right, it's a double block boost. So the same way that lift boost gives you momentum, if you execute another input in the same window that you have to do the first one, you'll get twice as much speed from it, which is how that dash goes across the entire screen in a split second.
Yeah, you get a lot of speed from moving blocks.
Even more so in TASes, because you can get 3 block boosts, 4 block boosts with climb jumps and lots of other wacky stuff.
Yeah, TASes are dual assisted speedruns, which is basically just like doing the inputs at like a very slow game speed, I guess.
The robots play the game better than us. It's not fair.
Exactly. Hey, Rocket.
I think this room is also probably the second longest. First being final. Maybe the length of the rooms does actually kind of steadily increase on a linear path more than I realized before.
Yeah, the rooms are pretty long at this point. I mean, the ending of the room is not very hard, it's just like the first half. That's like tight. This first updash is actually sometimes not bufferable, because if you buffer it, then you do it before hitting the block. So, yeah, it's difficult.
As long as you do the first up left in a reasonable amount of time, then it should normally work out.
Oh right, it's affected by the uplift. It's good to know. No. So close. The ending there is really just not that hard. No collide either. The ending is just a few buffers.
I find this type of gameplay to be the most fun. Just fast-paced, zapping around the screen with lots of tech and a lot of buffers. Some people prefer precision, but I could never. It's way too fun to just kind of have this flowy gameplay of fast-paced movement rather than trying to line yourself up. Yeah. And dashless as well, which is really interesting. There's a lot you can do with dashless in this game, but I would rather not remove half of the mechanics of the game.
So close to the end.
Definitely next time.
one is normally consistent. It's just a mix of lag and nerves that makes it like difficult.
I think the hardest part of this room for me is usually the spring buffer triangles where you...
Really, I don't struggle with them much.
I think the first one is pretty good, but the second one can trip me up for sure.
Huh? Also, you can just sometimes hit a battle in there. There's not really a way to avoid it. At least I don't think there is a way to avoid it.
Definitely is. It's just more about trial and error and figuring out how to time everything prior to it to make sure that battle line doesn't, which is a lot to think about. Sometimes it is easier to just do less thinking and take the risk that you might die there.
I mean, it's definitely like avoidable, but it just... There's no way to make sure that you never hit it ever, I think. Like, there's no like special strat. You kind of just have to trust your timings.
Yeah, it's vibes based. It's just figure out timings.
Okay, lock in. To get to find. It's hard to hit the buffers with like the frame delays that I have, but it's fine. Aw, that would have been it. Probably. Yanning is just like not difficult. Just dash too early. I'm dying way too much.
Doing ultras out of wave dashes, particularly like that, can be kind of tricky because some of the time when you do that down diagonal dash, you'll end up colliding with the ground before you actually leave the side of the block, which turns your diagonal dash into a horizontal dash, which is not good.
The ground, yeah. It gets rid of your downwards momentum, which kills you usually.
This is different with hitting a wall instead of a floor, because there's a mechanic of retained speed, which allows you to get your horizontal movement back after you collide with a wall, as long as you exit it within a certain time period.
Doesn't work with vertical though, so
yeah,
it doesn't help us here. Aw, that reverse wave dash into ultra is so hard sometimes. especially with like the timing. You have to delay it a bit in order to like not hit the block. Yeah, no. If you miss that wall bounce, there is a save, but it wastes a lot of time and it's only worth doing in a golden.
Awesome.
Hey, please. Work this time. Okay, dude.
So close.
Oh, I did a battle in there, okay. Okay. Ah, should have dashed earlier. Yeah, like that. I dashed too early there and hit the ground.
An interesting kind of conundrum, because that usually only happens to you after you have gained the muscle memory for doing these ultra dashes. And over time, your execution of them gets tighter and tighter until...
Yeah, you go faster.
Yeah.
The faster
And
you
that
do it, the
can
more
kind
speed you get.
Yeah. Can make things harder if you go too quickly.
Okay, nice.
There we go. GG.
Now, this screen.
The final word.
We pray. This is the end. And I pray I get good luck here, because I do not want to die here a lot. This is the most difficult screen of the map, but it's kind of consistent. Past the first wave dash, I mean. That wave dash from like the block is hell. This. Okay, I hit it.
This room is where the concept
Hardless.
of obscuring your vision with, and the hardless, yeah, but where the concept of obscuring your vision with the foreground decals really kind of climaxes. You have to be very mindful of what's going on behind them.
Entire map, yeah. I mean, half of this room is just muscle memory at this point because you can't see much.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's a lot of like figuring out what you have to do and then tricking your brain into remembering what that is without you having to pay attention to it. And then using the visual cues that you have surrounding the blood stains. It's just red
Yeah,
paint,
you
I
have to
promise.
kind of stimulate the gameplay in your brain to know where you'll end up. Because you obviously can't see Madeline sometimes. Didn't go high enough there. Anyway, yeah, this room is basically also front-loaded. It has like a few hard inputs at the start and just try not to die.
Consistency challenge.
Aww.
So close.
Yeah, I'm just praying I don't die like to the ending much. How much you die to the ending really affects how like a long it takes.
Everything past the last spring is essentially just a don't choke of 2 ultras and a B hop, and the room is over after that.
There is that section which is kind of hard, but that's like the most
more
precise
precision
section.
sections.
Yeah. It's kind of like 7C, but fucked up.
7C but fucked up. I'll take that, sure.
Also, I forget what the dash cooldown is, but depending on where you dash, it makes the buffer dash elsewhere. Because, like, I think it's like 12 frames or something. You basically dash 12 frames after your other dash, if you buffer another dash. So if you dash too close to the block, sometimes it kills
dash
you.
Dash cooldown is 11 frames, and then...
Oh, 11. Never mind then.
Maybe it's 10. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. Good luck.
Aww.
No.
Okay, that is like the last gameplay section. Then then it really is just ultra bunny hop ultra. You can't dash too low into that sprint because you die.
This room is considered to be Grandmaster +1, which is the difficulty that goes above Grandmaster, which does earn it its place on the hardest maps list. Difficulty is usually given a color as well within each of its overall difficulty.
It's like Strawberry Jam, you'd know.
Yeah, exactly. There's the green maps, the yellow maps, and the red maps for each difficulty. And this room is just a little bit harder than the hardest of Grandmaster difficulty. So this goes in green Grandmaster +1, which I think is doable for anybody that gets into Celeste. Like, if you dedicate an average amount of time to the game, I think you could, or an average amount of time to the game post-vanilla, and you are definitely interested in it, you could achieve a green Grandmaster +1 clear. But of course, that scale just goes up and up and up and up for people who want to really push the limits of the game and of their skill.
Yeah. That up dash is stupid. I died to it twice already. Dash later.
You got this.
Thanks. This is what I meant about luck. If I got, like, to the end, or, like, there were multiple times where I got, like, almost to the end of the room, and if I didn't get unlucky with the inputs, then I could have just already cleared it.
I think that's one of the things that's so interesting about Celeste to me is that everything is deterministic, but because of how much nuance and how variable things can be, it definitely doesn't feel as deterministic as it is on occasion.
Yeah.
It can just feel very, I don't know, natural and organic in the fact that it's not perfect, which feels cool. It gives the game a very unique feel compared to other 2D platformers.
That precision part is kind of hard to do with like lag, because it relies a lot on like just timings, and they're very variable. Like if you take too long at the first timing, then you need to take short on the second timing and stuff like that. Whereas the rest of the room is just like spam.
Not to mention the fact that visibility is also limited there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the spinning background, that's the album cover of the song that the album that the song is from, which is cool. Did you like make that yourself, Heavy? Actually, I don't know.
I did, yeah. I think I actually took the album cover and then so that the normal album cover has the name of the band inside each of the triangles. So I just kind of manually recolored all of the letters to be the right color, and then I added a couple more iterations of the pattern to the inside so that it would actually look correct, and that's how you got the effect. There's also a custom background that is modded, which allows for the spinning, because normally in vanilla it's just a parallax effect on the background, but here you can actually create this cool rotating effect.
And then we should work this way. Normally it does not take this long. I have no clue why I'm taking so long. Anyway, if you want to, like, for reference as for how much I'm struggling, I normally get within like 100, 200 deaths, and I have 500 right now.
It's definitely just from the lag from the stream.
Yeah. The lag is a bit difficult to deal with, but I'm trying to adjust. But yeah, after that section that I'm dying a lot to, it is buffers and then just don't choke.
I'm surprised at how much more consistent you've gotten at the first wave dash.
It is just muscle memory,
pretty much every other attempt. Yeah. I think that wave dash is actually dependent on when you do the down left into the spring at the very beginning, which is kind of silly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Time to go.
Oh. Oh, should I stop? Okay,
Okay.
fair enough. Goodbye. Stop streaming, yeah?
Yes.
Thanks so
stop
much.
now.
Bye, everybody.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please save and quit. Stop streaming.